What's good, YouTube, and welcome to the house. Huge news dropping today. I usually don't put news in Market Watch, but everything about this is important. Pot of Extravagance is officially getting a reprint, and according to the source, the date that this should be released is June 18th, which is the day before the WCQ, aka Nationals. Wow, so a lot of people were hoping this was in Duel Overload. It seems like it's not going to be in there, and in before short print in a side set. This feels a lot like the replacement for Legendary Duelist. So let's go ahead and get into this. So, not sure if Extravaance Reprint confirms it as a Toon or a Chaos. Inspired by the animated series Duelist Kingdom storyline, Toon Chaos introduces brand new world premiere cards for the themes played by Yugi and Pegasus during their final round. So it sounds like the TCG people went ahead and wrote up these cards after really staring at the show. That's kind of cool. The very first Chaos monsters were used by Yugi in his duels against Mai and Pegasus, but the new Toon Black Luster Soldier has a lot more in common with the upgraded Envoy of the Beginning model from Invasion of Chaos, complete with the ability to banish your opponent's monsters. In addition to this towering titan of Toonacity, Toon Chaos has more new cards for your Toon decks to vastly increase the speed and stability. Having trouble using your Toons you were looking for? Check out new spells in Toon Chaos and let your channel surf until you find the Toons you want right out of your deck. Wow, so it's like a channel surfer card. For every popular Chaos theme, Toon Chaos also introduces new Chaos versions of older monsters, like the Chaos Creator that can simultaneously special summon a banished monster and return other banished monsters to the deck. Toon Chaos has 3 new Chaos monsters for decks full of light and dark monsters, including a boss monster that fits perfectly into Dream Mirrors. Good luck with that one, Nami. Strategy from Rising Rampage and Chaos Impact, plus new cards to help you find monsters, and some of them you need a whole lot of work to fix Dream Mirrors. In addition, you can prepare for Rise of the Duelist booster set with a pair of the new Noble Knights and get ready for the biggest competitions of the summer and a chance to pick up Pot of Extravagance. Toon Chaos will also debut long requested collector rare, oh my gosh! I didn't get to read through all of this. I just loaded it up with the Pot of Extravagance thing. So Noble Knights and Collector's Rare. 15 cards will appear along the glorious form you also believe. To complete the Toon Chaos booster set, it contains 60 cards. Yeah, that's like a normal side set. 10 Ultras, 15 Supers, 35 Rares. 15 cards will also be available in Collector Rare. Woo! What a ride reading that for the first time was. Wow, I am really happy where Konami went. It's not premium gold, but collector's rare is something that is really freaking cool. So it'll be nice to see this set come out, and I would think almost every card will be easier to get since it'll have more incarnations with collector's rare. They're saying that there's 15 of them, so it's not going to be as hard to get as like Prismatic Secret, aka Starlight Rare, or things like that. I am happy with how this turned out. Now, Pot of Extravagance actually hasn't moved on the market today. I would definitely sell yours. The show is over on this card. This is coming out before the WCQ, and I get the people want to secure their copies as they head towards the location. A ton of vendors are going to rip this open and have it in stock, and yes, they're going to try to juice a little, but versus the prices right now, you're going to see Pot of Extrav probably at 20 to 30 in the room with them juicing, and then it fall from there. Even if it's a chase reprint in the set, remember Ash Blossom getting reprinted as a shorted, like it was towards 30, like I really think that you probably should sell these and just try to pick them up in the room. I know that's a dangerous strategy, but versus the price point you're paying, save yourself a heck of a ton of money unless you need to play it in regionals during this season right now to get your invite. Also, I was mentioning on stream last night, I have all my tabs pulled up from Market Watch that we had on stream. Toon Cyber Dragon is something you might not know you had in bulk that was worth money. Well, maybe say goodbye to that. Your clock is ticking on selling these potentially if they remember to put this in the set. One of the best tunes out there, period. But it also kind of loses its flair as Mega Fleet gets weaker in the upcoming formats. Also with Duel Overload, I still think the reveals are going to be insane and sell this out. Half of the set is out there, and Nadir, aka Glasgow Yu-Gi-Oh! / Farfa, is going to be revealing the rest of it on the 3rd. pre-order your stuff now using code WhatsGood5 and get some of the cheapest prices out there possible. I think this is like 280 some odd, 270 some odd, like towards the lower end, if you're using code WhatsGood5 to get yourself 5%, and you support the channel directly when you do so. I keep getting them to put it back in stock for you guys. You guys keep buying it out. Thank you so much for supporting. Lightning Storm was at a low of 140 last night, and a wall of motivated sellers suddenly appeared this morning. My opinion on this card is the special editions aren't going to bring true coolant to it. The special editions aren't going to get mass ripped open, and it's going to be like Rising Rampage, where it kind of stays where it was at, and then it's going to spike back up as people start to grab these for the WCQ. It's one of the safe cards, and the fact that it's not probably up for reprint until the Mega Tins, if even. Konami could throw a savage strike at us this year as well, as this is one of the most wanted cards, but it's also the start of the Plunder Patrol, so I feel like Konami should put this in the freaking 10s, but we'll see where they head. That being said, again, if you're playing in the WCQ, this is probably one of the safe cards to get heading that way. Prank Kids are an interesting penny investment. I didn't know that Prank Kids Place had risen back towards $5. It was at $3 last I looked, but the rest of it is actually pretty good penny stock, despite the guy joking in the comment section, waiting for the next Prank Kids buyout, hoping for Prank Kids support. I really like this deck under the new Master Rule. I think it gets a rise in its ceiling. While it may not be as big as every other deck's rise, like, I like the fact that you can fusion summon, put things in the side, free your link arrows, like, I like where this deck is heading the more I actually see it work under Master Rule 5. So keep this in mind. Very penny stockish. I would just have the core. There's no reason for you not to have this core in case it spikes up outside of maybe the Prank Kids Place being $5. And this has the potential, again, this has been a $15 to $20 card, to go up, so I see why people have been grabbing it. So many people want me to cover this card. I get it's bonkers with the Union Carrier. This just feels like a card to me that Konami goes, by the way, here it is in OTS Pack 13. Here it is. We're going to shove it on over here. And while that may not happen, and you could be hunting down this common, it is such a problematic card that maybe Konami even bans it if they take a couple of weeks for the ban list. Like, this card with the Union Carrier is freaking insane, so I get why it's a high price common, but there's just multiple things in the back of my mind that tell me it'll get taken care of. But in history, things have fallen through the cracks, so maybe it won't get taken care of. Scapegoat Ultimate Rare is on the rise. I didn't see this one coming because a lot of the GOAT players find this card very ugly versus the Retro Pack and other higher rarity versions, so it became kind of just a mid-rarity GOAT. But finally, people are after this. I was of the opinion originally that this would be a $100 card, then it came out in person, it doesn't look that great, but finally people are on the move with it. Let me know what you think about this buyout. As GOAT format buyouts, are they just dead and gone, or do you think this will actually be fruitful over time and it will stabilize at 50, then 60? What do you guys think of this one? I find that if it ever peeled off the list, maybe, but I don't see it peeling back off the list personally for a long time. Cyber Dragon Nashter is baby bumping up slowly, and a lot of people are mentioning this because we have Cyber Emergency confirmed in Dual Overload. I feel like this could end up in Dual Overload alongside it, but they already have one Cyber card with Infinity's Alter Art, so they don't really need to put much else with it. If it's not reprinted, I think this definitely goes up a lot, and you all are gambling like hoot cake if you're going after it, but I would kind of suggest having your playset using my TCG player link in the description down below, costing you nothing extra and supporting the channel directly if you feel like gambling at the $20 mark for a playset. I think it's worth it. I really do. I don't feel like it will appear here. I feel like they'll try to resell it somewhere later. Next up, Cyber Dragon himself. Something interesting that we noticed on stream last night, the First Ed original super rares are slowly on the rise to where you have to go back many a page in order to find the near mint first. The unlimited's readily available at like really not that much for such a collectible super, but in history, once upon a time, these were $50 to $60, and we see the first Eds now towards $7 and almost non-existent. So if you like Cyber Dragons and you want an original piece of its history, but you don't want to, put out the money for those ultimate rares, first Eds, they're going off the market. Maybe have yours sooner than later. Also to note, the ultimates are just insane prices, even for the damaged ones at this point in history. Unlimited damage. There's no near mints that you can really get when it comes to this card. So I get it. People love maxing out cybers. You have DTP also. I think I have one of those in my closet, to where it's just not available in even a playset if you wanted to get it right now. Cross Sheep was at a low of $9 last night, back to $11. It really is in flux mode. Just kind of watch and wait if you're trying to get it, because I was thinking it would fall back towards 8, it would do the sunlight woof, and here we are, they're off of the market. If special editions get open in some capacity by vendors not trying to take an L, this is one of the cards they will try to sell, and maybe could go up in quantity versus the demand on market. But still, I just don't think for all of Ignition Assault that there's going to be a huge coolant from the special editions. That's my opinion. Let me know if you think it'll be Rising Rampage 2.0 since the promos aren't good enough, or if people really will be trying to chase down those short print lightning storms and get in there. Number 92 is a card that I forgot about, and has a lot of Rising potential under the Master Rule. Apparently generators can take big advantage of this as well, and every single version is up in price. If you didn't know and you have one, maybe you want to sell it, or considering using it, depending on what deck you got. Elemental Hero Stratus Ultimate Rare continues to creep up solidly. Look, its market price is matching the price. This OTS pack was shorted. This is the one that got replaced by OTS pack 5 by vendors because Konami ran out of OTS pack 9. So Stratos, $72 freaking dollars. I get it, and I've called this to be one that will continue to go up through history as a fan favorite that will also not have the most quantities on market versus other OTS packs. Darklaw is freaking expensive as heck, but you typically play more Stratos than Darklaw. This is just newer in history. I think he could eventually get into the rolling Darklaw buyout range and be $100+ card in the main deck, but people love their extra deck cards. Speaking of Darklaw, last we looked he was 132. Also, those copies disappearing, he is slowly going up again. Curious was something I called as a penny stock a long time ago, and under the Master Rule, maybe all the spamming will end up making him easier, aka kind of a little Vobble chain with more materials, and I still find Curious Griffin to be one of the most insane things in the game today. Being able to search Imperial Order or Anti-Spell in this format to shut down Lightning Storm and other such cards, very, very good. So when looking at Curious, I understand the price point. He never had a reprint. I would still kind of suggest having your copy for the WCQ season, because I don't think he'll get a reprint up through there, but I hope he does. But it's only $2 right now. You only have yourself to blame if you haven't picked up this card. Also, looking at the Gold Sark Megatons, they're going up in price for what they're available at. If you find it for sale anywhere, $15, it's really worth ripping open. Look at these promo prices. And then also, we have Blue Eyes Alternative Ultimate Dragon going up as Awakening the Dragon target. I don't like this despite its more attack versus things like Ultimate Falcon, because things like Heretic Spheres that are being played heavily in Rockets right now can take care of this. You can't target or destroy it with card effects. That's not unaffected by, meaning Spheres, oh, I'm non-targeting bouncing. There he goes. That's why I don't like this. Some decks can just take care of this, but a lot of people do like it for its collectability and playability together. They feel like Kaiba when they're summoning this off Waking the Dragon. I get it. It's cool, but because of this connection, it is going up in price slowly, and a lot of people aren't offering free shipping with this card available when you buy multiple. This is actually a new listing, both of these, from last night versus the stream, so nice to see these open, but you notice a ton of the people on the lower tiers here are not offering free shipping alongside it in big quantities. You start to get to $1.80 before that, but we got new listings, so that is nice. I still see this card as pretty cool, maybe the most upward mobility out of the other promos because it is a Kaiba card, but I also think the God cards will sell very well on Amazon, and of course, Prismatic Monster Reborn will fit in many people's past format decks. There's a lot to go with these promos versus estimated value pulled of the promos, and I think tons of them have higher ceilings than what they're at, but man, these two really are racing up. That being said, thanks for watching today's Market Watch. What did you think of the news? Do you plan to hold your extravagances or chase them down in the room at the WCQ? Do you plan to, you know, take care of that? Let me know how you're gonna approach that deal. Even myself personally, I would be somewhat confident at getting cheaper copies in the room because I think the price will fall from here, and I don't think it's going to necessarily be able to not shoot back up. Like, oh, you still want to play right now? There's going to be the initial panic selling, but it's before the WCQ. So that, in my opinion, that date is a nail in the coffin for it. Whereas, like, when Link Rebo rose back up, it would not be re-available before the WCQ. That's why it went insane. So let me know what you think. It feels like Battles of Legend almost in terms of this announcement, but they are really putting their best foot forward for this Toon stuff, and that's big fan favorites. I think there will be tons of collectability to this. Chaos Monsters and Toons. Yeah, I think this set is really good. I might even buy it sealed and set it aside like I suggested with the Legendary Duelist Magical Hero, depending on how the cards actually turn out.